So this here is a full lamb, and what we would traditionally get, well, it would come to us as a 6-way cut. And when we say 6-way cut, that means 2 legs, 2 shoulders, and then we have the middle. So the loin and the breast, the loin and the breast. Okay? And we're going to talk to you today about how we can actually utilise the carcass, how we can look at doing some different recipes. So we've got some recipes that we're going to talk about. We've got the legs, and I'll talk to you about how we can do them for a roast, how we can do them for steaks, the chops, which we can marinate, we can barbecue, we can grill, or we can do them in the oven. And then we have some shoulder cuts, and we'll look at doing some different cuts with the shoulder. So what I suggest we do is we now look at what we could actually do with some of the cuts. So I suggest that we do the leg first. Yeah. So if you gents, if you can get rid of these for me, leave me the legs.
No problem.
There we go. Let you come in, thank you. So essentially, we'll do we'll do one leg there. So this is your whole leg. So we're looking at it this way. Here we have the shank, so a slow cooking product. We've got some bits here which I will take off for trims, which I will use for mincing. Yeah. We can take the trims off, so we could use those for
kebabs, maybe.
For kebabs, yeah. For your stews and things like that. There.
That's right.
And what I actually I'd love to do, and just to give you some sort of idea, is actually we can break this down, and we can make some lovely lamb steaks. So if we want to do it in a marinade, we've got some recipes which you can follow online, which involve lamb steaks. We can take the chump off, and we can do some real good stuff with it. The leg of lamb is really, really versatile. It's brilliant for doing as a full roast, but actually we can do some other things with it as well. So this is, I'm going to show you how I would, this is how I'm going to do my way of cutting a leg of lamb. I always tend to use the lamb where it's facing towards me, okay? Yes. It's just the way I work. So you might do it working different. This is my way. So we're going to trim these bits off here. Yep. So we'll take this down, and what I'll do is I will separate those little bits out, which we're going to use for different bits. So we've got that's like on the skirt, so we can use that for mince, or we can use it for a bit of dice if we're going to do a bit of slow cooking. We'll take the bit of fat off, so that comes to there.
You can use fat for cooking?
Yeah, render it down, and it gives you that flavour in there, so we can cook it in, and then get that sort of flavour. So we're utilising everything, so nothing gets wasted, and which is ideal. So we're going to remove this bone here, okay? So this is like the H-bone. This is probably not really what you would traditionally do.
No.
So for us watching there, we bring the knife in, gently trim a bit of meat that comes away from there, back to there, turn it round, and then I'm just going to gently push the bone down, and then slowly bring my knife up, and we're going to follow that bone round as tight as possible, okay? So it comes out. Yeah. Turn it round. Give it a gentle push, and what that does, it opens up this little joint here, which I can then bring my knife in, go around, and we go through the joint. So we've opened up the joint, okay? What I've just done there is actually I've just opened up this joint here. So you can actually see it now there, we've gone through the joint. And that makes it easy for me when I come to take the next bone out of that. Turn it round, again, just come this side, come through, and then you're getting worried, you're moving your hand. Just come through here.
So obviously you're preparing this for roast, but obviously we can also use this for curry.
Of course you can, yeah. What it really does, it highlights just how versatile
the lamb is. Yeah.
Lamb is.
That's right.
You know, we could do so many different.
Even at the end, we can use just bones for the soup.
Yeah, for the soup.
Yeah, for both the soups. And then if you've got some festivals coming up, and you want to do things to some different festivals.
So with regards to Eid, obviously we'd use this we'd use a shank bit for something called nihari. Would you agree?
Nihari, yeah.
Nihari, yeah. That's the bit that we would actually use for nihari.
Dish.
Yeah.
So when we go on to do this, I will take that off, so you can say, well, we can put that there. Yeah. There's a little bit of bone there. I'll just trim that to there, so that goes into this pot where we're going to do for the for like we do it for stocks. There's a little bit of fat that just sits there, which I'd like to trim away. So we've cleaned all that there. That's actually the chump of lamb, so effectively that's the rump of lamb, if you will. So we can cut that into steaks, beautiful, or cook it as a piece. A little bit of fat that sits around the top here. We'll just trim this off here, so it's nice and clean. That goes into that section there. So we have the full leg of lamb with the H-bone removed. But what we can do, and this is where it's going to get clever now. So we're going to look at that shank. So
that's shank one,
I'm going to feel here. There's a little joint just there. So I feel it with my finger. Bring my knife in, spring to the side, and then come over. And that's that.
That is suitable for now. That is a shank piece.
So we have that shank piece. Again, beautiful, cooked long and slow. Fantastic. Lovely piece. We'll then take the chump off. So that's this front piece that we were talking about before. Now that can either be done as a little roast, can be cut into steaks. You could spatchcock it out, put it into barbecue. We could take it, we could chop it up into pieces and put it again in for a curry. Stir fries, all different ways that we can actually utilise the lamb. So there we have the chump, and then we're left with this is the main part of the lamb. Okay, and this is built up of 3 muscles. So we're getting a bit technical now. So this is the top side, this is the knuckle, and the other silver side. And what I'm going to do is bring the knife in. Okay. I know that there's a bone that sits just in there, as you can see there. There's a little bone that sits there and a seam. And then I'm going to separate that piece off. So again, we have that's the top side of lamb chop. So and then we're going to take this bone out here.
And that, of course, we can chop up, prepare for curry.
So many different ways. You've got so many different ways that you can actually use that cut. And then we're coming through here, out, underneath there, round, and then just gently follow that down. Again, we've got a nice bone that's going to go in for stock. Yes, yeah. You know, if you wanted to crack it in half and let all that flavour just cook out, I mean, into a stew or however you're going to cook it.
Very nice.
I'm going to remove this muscle here now. So gently roll that out. There's a bone that sits there. So that comes out. So we have a knuckle there. Again, a little bit of bone there we'll remove. That goes into there. Bit of fat comes off again into that section there.
I mean, some customers, they do like the fat.
Yeah.
And some obviously don't. So
yeah, we've got that option. If the customer wants
to remove it,
want it without, we can do without. If we can leave it on, whichever like that. Again, this isn't excessively the amount of fat on it, so it's not too bad. So we're going to remove. There's a pocket of fat that sits on here. The beauty, these cuts that I'm doing. So AHDB, the company I work for, we actually have a web page, and all these cuts are on that page. So again, there's the cuts on there. There's an area on there that we are going to do some recipes for you. So we're looking at like the Simply Beef and Lamb web page. Those have recipes which are utilising these cuts that we're doing today. And if we look onto the AHDB with Trade webpage, there's a cutting guides there. So it actually shows us all these things that we can actually do with it. So we break down the leg, we break down the shoulders, we can look at doing loins, all sorts of things on there. And it's all there just to be utilised. Please go along and have a look and just see. It's great to learn. Trim this bit of fat off here. And then there's a little bit of silver connective tissue that sits on there. Depending on how you're going to cook it, if you're cooking it long and slow, then this will just naturally break down, becomes very gelatinous, shall we say. It goes into like a gel. It really adds to the flavour. Beautiful. A little bit of excessive fat there. So we have a silver side piece there, which we can do. We can trim down that there. That can be cooked as a piece. We can cut it into steaks. This is the actual knuckle, so like the round, some people call it the round or the knuckle. That can be cut into steaks, so like into a scallop.
Cubes as well?
Cubes, if you wanted to do stuff for dice,
skewers and stuff like that.
From skewers, for kebabs. Again, nice lean steaks. If you do get that customer that doesn't want anything that's got a bit of fat on it, this is ideal for them. And then we have like the top side. Just around here, sometimes there is like a little bit of gristle. This one just has a touch on it, so we'll just trim that away down there. And then, so really, that's just looking at different ways that we can actually utilise a leg of lamb. If we wanted to, if we're having a big family festival, if we've got all our family coming around, we can do the full roast. So we have the leg, we can do it as a full roast.
Of course.
If you wanted to marinate that, with all the spices and do it as a full roast leg of lamb with all the spices.
amazing,
It does sound amazing. I'll book a seat to come round to your house and we'll do that. But alternatively, if somebody doesn't want as big a piece, we can actually do these steaks. So it's just a different way of utilising some good old British lamb. I shouldn't say good old British lamb because it's not old, it's lovely like young lamb, but it's beautiful and tender.
Yeah.
So the beauty about the British lambs is, it's all natural, it's all grass fed. Superb.